Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are very excited to have our friend back here from VitaJuwel. How are you today?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Actually, she's our Canadian representative. What's the terminology I use, hon?
Yes. But not for much longer.
Okay, so there's more too. Miss News, tell us what's happening in your life. What's going on?
I burnt the Bible today.
Jacqueline, tell me how. Okay, let's talk. Fill me in.
Okay. So there's a story about a sage, and he's wanting to learn the secrets of the world and the secrets of the universe. And there's a monk up on a mountaintop, and he has to make this very long trek up this mountain to visit this monk. And he does it over the course of his life. And as he does it, he gets these messages, and he comes back down and he integrates them into his daily life. And he's getting more and more excited because as his life progresses, he's seen the magic and the wonder of the universe open up to him. And he's seen it in its full glory. And he's discovering all these fabulous things about it. So meanwhile, while he's having these experiences, he's writing down everything that, he learned, everything that he discovered, all of his miracles along the way. And he goes up to the mountain for one final sort of visit with the Magi, or, the person up there. And he's so excited, and he looks at him and he goes, "Oh my goodness, I feel like I've discovered everything there is to know, and I'm blown away by it, and I've written it all in this book." And the guy looks at him and he says, "Go back down the mountain and burn your book."
Wow.
And he says, "Everything that you've put in there is not ready to be learned by humanity, and they are not able to digest and receive it, and nothing that you could possibly share with the world would be taken appropriately. And the best thing you can do for humanity is forget everything and keep it to yourself."
Wow.
And that's what I did this morning. But not, in sort of a different way. It's always a little bit different. But I deleted my Facebook account. I deleted my LinkedIn account. I removed my website. And
it was time.
Yeah, okay. I'm just free to, I guess, move on and do what I need to do.
Wow.
And so it's like a graduation, and it's really, really exciting.
Oh, good. Well, congratulations on your graduation and new chapters in life, right?
Yeah.
For those that may not also know, you are intuitive, you're an empath, you have these gifts in a sense, right?
Yes.
How would you describe yourself? So people listening right now saying, "Well, I don't understand. What is she talking about? Why is she?" Can you explain it to us?
I have an ability to listen and learn. Mm-hmm. And everybody has this ability, but nobody ever uses it.
Yeah.
And if people did, people would be blown away by the way that the world and the universe and the secrets of it open up to them.
Wow.
They're saying, tell me what you mean by that. Okay, so it's sort of disheartening because I think, have I mentioned Carolyn Mace in the show before?
I don't.
So she's a modern mystic and has written a lot of books and really well respected. And I have this quote that I wrote down from one of her teachings and books. And it says, "When something looks humble and like it has no value, get down on your knees and bow before it, because the power of what is before you is more amazing than anything you could have ever imagined." And I did allude to that, I believe, at Christmas time when I said, that's the real reason that Jesus was born in a manger, is because it's up to each individual person to go within themselves and say, does this have value or not? Mm. So with my remedies, I've been struggling for a long time. I had one friend, she asked me about selling them. And I said to her, well, I'm not going to sell them. And she says, well, why not? And I said, they're too valuable to be sold. I said, they have to be given away, because I cannot handle or stomach the thought of who might be missing out on them because there's a price tag attached to it. But, along the way, I do what I'm told and what I'm guided to do. And so there's this one story of this remedy that I made. And this remedy, when they were giving it to me to produce, they're like, this is a very, very special remedy. It's only for select people. This remedy will, and this remedy, like at the time, my remedies were affordably priced so that everyone could buy them. And they said, this remedy is for $500 and you are not allowed to have a tester because no one is allowed to try it without like experiencing it before they decide to buy it. And the price is so significantly different than your other remedies that they will only buy it if they're strong enough with strong enough intuition that they are being guided to use it. And that will tell you who's worthy of using it.
Mm-hmm.
So I produced a very limited number of these bottles that I kept in my office. And this one morning I got into the office and it said, put one on the shelf. So I put one on the shelf and this woman came in and she's been using my products for over a decade. And every gift that she has and everything that she does, I can tie back to all of the different remedies that she's been on. And I mean, she knows this and people around her know this and they see how they tie in. And I hear, tell her what the remedy is and what the remedy does. So instead of having a $500 price tag on it and just expecting her to buy it, I say, okay. And so previous to this, I had another woman who'd been helping me out with my business a lot, and she agreed to do a trade show with me. And prior to the trade show, I gave her a bottle. I sprayed her or gave her a bottle, both, I think, of this spray. And a few minutes into the trade show, I looked at her, I'm like, what the crap? And then as the trade show progressed, my jaw was just like dropping constantly. And about an hour in, I looked at her and I said, have you always been Claire, the Claire that allows you to hear,
Claire,
you know, what
audience.
Yeah, all the Claire audience. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And she looks at me and she goes, no. And I go, when did it start? And she says, when you sprayed me with the spray. And I said, holy crap, because that was what I was told when I got the message for it, is that this is instant clairaudience, this is instant clairvoyance. All the clairs you will have instant access to after using this. It's an instant psychic remedy. So if you talk about going from being a regular person to instant psychic for $500 in the course of a spray, it's a bloody freaking miracle. And I tell this to the woman and I say, everything that you're struggling with, everything that you wanted to know, all of your senses, all of your ability to see, hear, feel, do all that, that's what this remedy is about. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, well, I think I can do that. And she turns around and walks out.
Wow.
And I laughed. I just started shaking. I'm like, unbelievable. Like this is a woman who for 10 years, I've been giving her every single access to every single gift she has. And she knows what it's done for her in her life. And I'm standing her telling this. She goes, yeah, I think I can do that. And she walks out and I call my store manager and I say, remove that remedy from the shelf. No one will have access to it from now on. And no one ever has.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, but that happens over and over and over again. And I look at, you know, these shows and I was told to do these shows spiritually. It's like, Jacqueline, and we'll back up to the summer. Actually, the summer I was like, you know what? I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm telling people. I don't know why I'm selling this. I don't care. I have it figured out.
Yep.
I have it figured out. And if nobody else cares, why the heck should I care?
Yeah, you're right.
And so that's when I went to, you know, doing the spraying, and the universe dropped this person in my lap.
Wow.
And this person was like, they have to be out there. And they gave me this plan and they gave me this program and I did da. And part of that was this show. And I was like, I didn't answer the phone calls forever. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, no time, too busy, not. And it was just this feeling in me. And then, like I said, when this person was dropped in front of me, I was sitting at a coffee shop, like, because this first one was happening and I was trying to decide how to get out of it. And I was so mad at this person. I wasn't even talking to this person. And they called me up and they're like, I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. I did not get it. You have every right, but I have a message to tell you and you have to do these shows.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, I do not want to do these shows, but I'm like, okay, I will listen. I will listen once more and do these shows. So I've been doing these shows and I've been having fun doing them. I've been enjoying doing them. And I've been, I guess, because so much of what I do is internally and it happens to the world at large. And I know because of certain examples, like I know that it works and I know what it does and I know the full magnitude, but I don't get to see it on a very regular basis.
Yeah.
And so, and even though I'm helping millions and billions of people every day by what I do, I have got to the point where I am because of the people that have gone out of their way to physically help me in the real world, because I had a point in my life where I couldn't do this without the physical real world help. The people that did energy work on me, the mediums that gave me messages, the people that made herbal supplements that have helped me, and the people that have written books for physical, and so I do this because I know that I wouldn't, even though everybody has access to spirituality, you need the real world to help get you there. And I've done it for the beauty and the appreciation of all the people in the real world that have got me there. But I mean, so I do these shows and I think, or I hope, or I pray that maybe someone is listening, someone who needed a real world message, has got a real world message. But the offside of that is, what am I losing out that I could be doing for myself or for the world or for my purpose by doing this?
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So my husband has a very successful company and he has millions of dollars of work lined up. And I'm trying to tell him that I need him to quit his jobs because what I'm doing is more important and we need to be doing this for the world. And so we go about, and he actually gets out of most of his contracts. And there's one, and it's work for a spiritual community, doing a big major project for them. And the contracts have already been signed and he can't get out. So I'm going through this sort of real world struggle in my head. How do I do what I need to do when I don't have the help that I need? And it's proving sort of, impossible to get out of it. And my husband comes home from this meeting and he tells me what's going on here. And I look at him and I lose my shit. And I said, oh my God, they think that you're canceling out of a contract because you have a wife that needs you at home to like have supper with her at night and, go for walks, and, that I'm just this needy, useless woman who just requires your attention. And I'm sick of my husband being away at work all day. I'm like, that's not the case. I'm like, your wife has a business every bit as 100,000 times every bit as spiritual as this other thing he's supposed to be working on. And I said, what I am doing is not getting out there. I said, every time that I'm not spraying the prisons and people aren't getting treated, every time that I'm not going through the alphabet district and helping all of the homeless people and people with addictions, every time that I'm not going in and doing treatments for women in abusive domestic violence homes, I said, that's what we're giving up on by you continuing to do contracting projects for these people that think they're helping the world and doing something. I said, I'm going there and I'm talking to the director and I'm telling him why you need to cancel out of this. And it was an eye-opening experience for him, because I think he thought that as the leader of the spiritual community, they were doing what they absolutely needed to be doing. And these people who he had been disregarding for the past decade that we've known him were actually potentially doing something that was every bit as important as what they were doing. And if we were ducking out of the commitment, maybe it was because there was something that we actually really, really needed to be doing spiritually that was more important. And so, and I mean, all these things have been going on and I didn't really know what to do, but every time I sell a product, I'm just annoyed by it, actually.
Wow.
And I'm annoyed by it because I don't have the time and energy to put it in a nice, perfect package and box the way that people would want it delivered to them. And they expect it to make sense, and they expect it to look like the real world, and they expect it, someone to be on the other end if they have a phone call for these healing crises they're going through. Well, that's not how it worked for me. And that's not how it works with spirituality. Something lands in your lap and you look at it and you have the opportunity then and there to decide what to do with it. And if you're not doing something with it then and there, that opportunity is gone. And it is gone forever. And you might get another opportunity, but you might not. And it might come in a totally different, form or fashion or way. And I just, this morning, it was like, they just said, delete it. I'm like, for real? Can I really do this? And they're like, yeah. They're like, you've put yourself out there for this many years. You've given people the opportunity. You don't have to do that anymore. And so
Wow.
That's where I'm at today.
Wow. Wow. This is inspiring. A whole new Jacqueline. I mean,
Yes.
it's just who you are, but wow, changes. And that's normal for people in life, right? Can you explain that concept? There's things that come and go and they're supposed to be, right? And it all depends how people look at things. Some people can say that's, change is scary, I'm sure. Clearly, right? Aren't you a little nervous about all this? I mean, it's okay. But some people do get nervous. She's not. It's amazing. You have this instinct and this gut to go with what you feel and what you know is your path.
No. I've been doing this for a long time. I have done everything in every industry, in every level of income you can imagine, based on exclusively what I've been told to do. I mean, buying and selling properties, doing contracts, giving up things, breaking off relationships with the wrong people. Like every single thing that I've been asked to do has been really, really difficult. And this is a no-brainer. But you don't get to that point overnight. I mean, like bankrupt. I've been bankrupt 3 times now, and in between millions and millions of dollars we've had. So when you can go from one to the other and it doesn't phase you, you just know that you wouldn't be asked to do this unless there was something else. And whatever else you're being asked to do is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So I have my life back. Like I can go for a walk in the morning. I can have time to make a smoothie and time to grocery shop for the ingredients going into it. When I'm doing energy work, I have time to recuperate after it. I have time to meet with all of the people that I need to meet with on a daily basis to create all the miracles that are important to, the people giving me guidance. And so it's just not, I'm gaining so much and that's how you know when you really, really, really made the right decision.
Yeah.
We walked away from, a multi-million-dollar business that we had spent years building up, and we couldn't come to terms with our partners in it. And we went through mediation, and they weren't willing to budge on anything. And the mediator at the time sort of looked at us incredulous, like he'd never seen this situation happen before. And we're like, well, what choice do we have? And we walked out of there without a vehicle, without a home, without a business, with all of our credit cards filled with, all the expenses from the business. And we looked at each other and we said, oh my God, we are so lucky. We are so, so, so lucky. And we celebrated that day. And it was one of the best days of my life to date, because we just couldn't keep doing it anymore. And we were left with absolutely zero options to, continue that process. And so that was one of the first really big things that sticks out in my mind about, losing it all and just knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt that you've done the right things. We got along great with our previous business partners today. And it was, still the right and best decision any of us ever made.
Yeah. Wow. Well, congrats.
Yeah.
You're such a happy soul. I wish people could be more like you. Follow your gut, follow your heart, really.
Yeah.
So what do you see next? What's happening now? What's your,
I don't know, but I'm here to ask about you. So.
Okay. Ask about me. Go ahead. What?
Yeah. I don't know what,
Uh-oh.
Well, and I don't know if
you could say anything. So say what you're feeling. I don't care.
Well, I hear tell me about what's going on in your world.
You really want to know the truth? I'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
Well, I have a 5 and 7-year-old boy. They're good.
I
They're
yes,
happy. They're
ish.
healthy. So mom, I'm a single mom and I live with them alone and we do everything, all our sports, and it's hectic. Life is hectic. And my big thing is to, find love and all that fun stuff. So, I've been dating someone for like 10 months. And we just went away this weekend for like the first time. I've never left my kids alone. Because I'm always with them. So I did a quick 2.5-day trip to Antigua. Okay. Or Antigua, they say. So me and my boyfriend went for 2.5 days and complete disaster. First time we've ever alone together, and it didn't work out so well. Yeah, it's hard. Look, to date
Okay,
me.
I have to interrupt you because I heard he's not the right one. And you were starting so excited and I'm like, are you going to ask me to say that to her?
Say it. No, say it. No. Look, in 10 months, the first time we've ever slept in the same bed and been away, I sleep with my kids. And it's hard for someone to come in my life, but I'm telling you the truth. You're number 4. I have to be number 1 because I'm just mom. Then my 2 kids, and then you. I wouldn't want to be anyone's number 4. Let's be honest. Who would? But I told you since day one, this is the way it is. So it's been 10 months. We finally have two days together and he kind of destroyed it. So I'm glad you're getting that feeling because
really strong. And I was like, holy shit, do I tell her this?
You tell me.
It came through so clear. He's not the right one. So yay, I'm so happy that it came through so strongly for you in that easy or short of a period.
Yeah. And I'm an open book. And I don't know if he listens to these podcasts. I don't care if he does because we technically broke up, but now he's texting me. He wants to meet up this weekend, make things work. And I'm just like, okay, I'll meet you, of course. And I love you still, but we both know we're not each other's one. So why waste our time? But okay, I'm a time waster. I have nothing else in my life. I know it. But that's what
I'm hearing it's 4 years. And not 4 years with him. I think it might be 4 years, but it sounds like, you'd potentially be okay with that. And until the right one.
Got it.
Or maybe 3 years till the right one, 4 years till it's, more permanent or something.
That's fine. So that's what's going in my life. So it's funny you kind of picked up on what's going on with me because on a personal level, life has been a little hectic and I only got back Sunday night from the vacation. So this is all fresh and new, but it's okay. Other than that, I'm okay.
Have a nice long bubble bath.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think when someone, drinks a lot, I drink wine, but not a lot. He drinks a lot and he says things, which to me is his true character, but was very critical of me and my body. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, who are you to think everyone's body's their body. It's not my fault I have imperfections. I know I do. So do you, but I don't point them out. So
oh my God.
Yeah. And you're like 18 years older than me. So you're older, but I'm like, I don't make fun of you. And it was really weird. He's concerned about my health and about the texture of my skin and it's wrinkly. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you're 61. I'm 44. Do I have wrinkles? Do I have fat? Yes. I'm not perfect, but I have a decent body. Like, hello, I'm confident, but why are you picking on me about things? And it's just bizarre, but he thinks it's a positive thing. And we ended up meeting a couple and they were so sweet. And she told him to his face, what are you saying to her? Like, how, if my husband said those things to me, I would divorce him. Like, you guys are just dating, but who are you to be so critical of Jill? Like, what? So now a complete stranger confirmed my intuition about things, the past few months. And I'm just like, wow. So she went off on him and says, that is not appropriate. She's like, wow. No, she should not be with you. You cannot talk to someone that way. He's like, but I'm being nice, but I love her. I think she's beautiful. But I'm like, but a beautiful butt, it's bizarre. It's like, again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you look about 18. And if you can pass off for 18 when you're 44.
You're so funny. Oh, hell no.
I don't.
But maybe 39. But yeah. But
yeah, I had this girl drive me to the bar with her after work one night for just an hour or something. And there was this guy she wanted to meet up with, and he was there with this other guy. And so the 4 of us left and we got to her house and they went to the bedroom and he looked at me and I don't know if he said or I said, lights on or off. And he goes, well, you may as well turn them off because I'm going to be closing my eyes anyways. He says, there's no way you can compare to what is going on in my own head and brain. You'll never look as good in person as you do in my imagination. And I just walked, like, I don't even know if I said another word to him. I just walked out the door, and on the way out, I looked back at him and I said, I hope you enjoy your fantasy tonight, because that's all you're getting. And yeah, it was sort of, your experience with that is the one that triggers my memory with this guy.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, so there are a few of those out there, but I mean,
like totally no filter, but at the same time, to be so critical as if you are like God's gift and so perfect. None of us are perfect. We all have flaws, but like, I don't know if you care about someone, you don't point out their flaws, but okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of rude. That's really rude. I mean, what I experience is rude. What you experience is rude.
Well, but a blessing too, right? Like,
yes,
thank
absolutely.
you, universe. Thanks for the message. Thanks for the confirmation.
Yeah. So other than that, like my whole like struggle in life, like, you've talked, and I believe in what you say. It's like, we're all here for a purpose, and we have a purpose. And I'm the one who's fighting something in my past life, clearly about love and relationships. My parents didn't have a great relationship. And that kind of scared me, and it makes me scared to trust a man. And so I think my life is the trials and tribulations of learning to trust, or allowing the right, whatever it is. It's my whole little thing, which I hope gets sorted out, but so far it hasn't. But I'm okay with it, because I really am truly happy, and I have my boys, and that was the most important thing. I just always wanted kids. So the fact that I have kids by myself is okay, and I love them. So I'm really okay, but that's the turmoil I face. It's the relationship. We all have something, right, that we need to work on from our past life, that you say.
Yeah. No, and you're totally right. And when you look at other people's lives, and you look at if you'd want to have their life, for me, I always look at, well, what does their life entail? And it's pretty quickly the areas of their life that are their struggles for this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at everybody's different struggles, it makes you really happy and appreciative to have your own struggles, because at least you're equipped to deal with your own, or you can handle it, or you really want your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, you would, for me, my husband, I've had so many lifetimes in really, really, really bad relationships, or so many lifetimes without anyone. And so by that, I mean like a priestess, or a medicine woman, or, an independent woman throughout history who didn't really have a man, or else I've been part of harems, and part of, married off to people that I had no say in, and, really awful things.
Yeah.
And, so for me, I actually have a really, really great man in my life. And it's one of the few times I think that I've ever had that. And the struggle is to kind of be okay with that.
Yeah.
And, it probably wouldn't be a struggle for most people and most women. But when you look at how independent I am, and you look at how many, like, I'm asexual. So I don't care if I had sex with anyone ever for my whole entire life. And here I have this man that adores me with, who wants that. And I do adore him back, and it's wonderful, but it's a bit of a different situation to be in when you actually really, really want to be single and live your life alone. But the universe is like, no, you have to make marriage work. And we're giving you the perfect person that you can't object to,
who loves you and understands you and accepts you for who you are.
Yeah. Aww. So, everybody has little quirks and things. Yeah. And that's what you're here to do, your sole purpose, and work those things out in your life.
Oh, well, thank you for talking today. Thank you for asking about me as well. And I'm happy about your new journey. Are we still going to be talking next week, or I don't know when is your last show?
No, this is the last show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So thank you for having me.
Adal, thank you for being here. Wishing you and your husband the best of luck with everything. But you're a beautiful soul, and I'm so glad that we got to meet like this. Can you how can people reach out to you if they want to talk to you?
They can't anymore.
I love it. All right. Well, okay. Thank you for everything. Seriously, you're amazing. I'm still playing your commercial because you are a spiritual healer. Really exciting to talk to you. And hopefully I know we'll connect again soon somehow, some way.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.